According to a new poll that has been done by Gallop, the General Social Survey of 2014 reports that, to the surprise of no one, there is a record low of number of people who have confidence in the United States government. And in fact, these same people feel that the economy is less of a problem than the government is. Only 10% of Americans consider the nation's job situation to be the top problem. 11% are most worried about the economy, according to a Gallop poll published Thursday. Meanwhile, 18% say the government is the biggest problem the country is facing. Only 11% of adult Americans interviewed had a high confidence in the executive branch, and a record high 44% said they had hardly any confidence at all. Confidence in the U.S. Supreme Court is at 23%, while only 5% are confident in Congress. Both are historical lows since the GSS survey was first conducted in 1972 by the NORC Center for Public Affairs at the University of Chicago. Now, confidence in the government can vary from party to party depending on who's in office at the time. But as it stood in 2010, 25% of people who identified as Democrats had faith in the government, had confidence in it. In 2014, only 18% had that same confidence. Over half of Americans express hardly any confidence at all, while only 7% of Democrats, 5% of independents, and 3% of Republicans have a great deal of confidence in Congress. Now, in addition to this, it appears that the American public has no confidence in the media either. Only 7% of Americans polled have a large amount of confidence, while 44% have hardly any at all. Only 3% of Republicans and 10% of Democrats have a lot of confidence in the press. Only 1 in 10 Americans has a lot of confidence in television. Now, something very strange to me has occurred. While confidence in the United States military has decreased, it still remains over 50%, which means at least half the population has confidence in the U.S. military. But it gets even stranger. While only 10% are confident in organized labor, 15% trust banks and financial institutions. Think about that. Americans trust banks, the financial aristocracy, over labor organizers. Now, as it stands, according to first worldist Marxist theory, this is supposed to be, where the revolutionary potential is supposed to come from. Yet these people don't trust labor organizers. They actually trust their class enemy more than the people who are fighting for their interests. Now, when this happens, if they won't trust the people who fight for their interests, how are they supposed to trust the people that are fighting for the interests of the global poor? They can't, and that's the point. But again, we're supposed to believe that this is a revolutionary class that has revolutionary potential. I think there's also something very telling here as well. While 50% of the American public trusts the military, almost no one trusts the government. But the military is under the direct orders of the U.S. government. I think this says something very clear. When the government makes policies about the society of the United States, nobody has any trust in them. Nobody has faith in them. But they will trust the institution that the United States sends to make policy in other countries. Well, they don't like it when the United States makes decisions about their society, but when they send the imperialist war machine overseas to enforce it on other people, the most brutal and murderous of circumstances, then it's okay, and we have confidence in them. Now, these people, are supposed to be the allies of people in the third world? Really? Average Joe American, it seems, has tremendous confidence in the imperialist war machine to do things to other people, but doesn't even trust his own government. What does that say? I think it very clearly recognizes that these wars are in their interests, and they don't really care what happens to people in the third world. Yet we're supposed to believe that both of these sides are proletariat. And I think this study says perfectly the first world people are not an ally to the global working class. If you like this video and you'd like to see more of them, then head over to my Patreon page and show your support. or you can go to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share on various social media.